Good morning and thank you for keeping it on UBC TV. Now welcome to the newsreel, and this time we are going to be discussing issues of the law for you to better understand them. Most of the times you've had so much happening when people seek bond, when people seek bail. Now we want you to know your rights, but also rights come with obligations, and also to better understand, are there limitations? Most of the times I've had many Ugandans say, it is my constitutional right to bail. It is my constitutional right to get bond. 48 hours have elapsed. I must be out of here or take me to court. Now, I'm not the best person to discuss matters of the law, but with me I have Counsel Arthur Isiku, who is the Treasurer, Uganda Law Society, joining me to discuss these issues. Arthur, you're most welcome.
Thank you so much. Good morning to you, and good morning to the Ugandans out there. Indeed, my name is Isiku Arthur, Treasurer, Uganda Law Society. I bring greetings from the President of Uganda Law Society, who is currently in exile, and also from the Executive Council of the Uganda Law Society. Uganda Law Society, for those who are hearing it for the first time, it is an entity established by an Act of Parliament. And among the responsibilities and obligations we have, we are supposed to advise government, advise people on all matters incidental and ancillary to the law. And we are so honored to be invited on this platform to enrich Ugandans on matters concerning the law. Yes.
Now, to begin with, these are two things. Can you give us the difference between a police bond then a court bail?
Yes, for the Ugandan out there, police bond and court bail, these are matters that are normally found in the criminal justice system. For those of you probably who have been at police, you have heard about police bond. Basically, police bond, it's a temporary relief pending further investigations by the police, meaning if someone is arrested by the police for any charge, regardless of the charge, yeah, and that is something I want to really highlight. You are arrested on any charge, whether it is a capital offense like murder, manslaughter, anything. You are entitled to 48 hours. After 48 hours of arrest, are supposed to be either released on police bond or referred to court. So basically, police bond is temporary relief. Yeah, it is not an acquittal that they are no longer investigating you. They're just saying you can go back home as we do further investigations, and that is a constitutional right. For those of you who are hearing about the issue of court bail, that is
even before you leave court bail, let's first go back to police bond.
Yes.
Most of the times for us, the lay person, if I took, and let me use the language we use, if I took Julie to police, saying Julie stole my goat, stole my cow, then I take Julie to police. The next thing I want to know is Julie has gone to court and she's in prison. Now, after a lapse of 48 hours, and I see Julie back on the village, I'll say Julie has paid police, or has someone who has called police Gabanogu, and now she's out.
True.
And then we say, that is why we want mob action. Because people are going to finish our goats, our cows, we take them to police, they come out.
Yes, indeed, there is that perception when someone has been taken to police. Ordinarily, the victim, someone who has been, who has suffered the worth of the suspect. There is that feeling that this person should stay at police, yeah, regardless of the hours, yeah, as long as that person is not out in the public. Of course, that is a wrong perception. Like I've said, the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda is quite clear. Article 28 is quite clear that they shall always protect the liberty. You see, police, the issue of police bond is intended to keep the liberty of someone out there because it is one of the human rights of any person out there. And then number two, we have what we call the presumption of innocence. Yes, anyone in this country who is accused of committing any crime, there is that grand norm, the presumption that, oh, this person is innocent until that person has been charged and condemned by the courts of law. So basically that rule was put there to ensure that they safeguard those rights of the persons. Of course, we have seen scenarios where people who have indeed committed crimes, that is indeed something that is quite challenging. Someone has been caught red-handed stealing a goat, stealing a cow out there in the public, and then all of a sudden you hear that this person has been released on police bond. Of course, one, it puts a risk on his life as well. Those are some of the considerations that police need to look into before granting someone bail, the risk associated. There is a risk of someone's life being put in danger because of his release. Yeah, you are caught red-handed stealing a goat or a cow, or even murder, assuming it is murder. Yeah, then you are released on police bond. I can assure you there is a possibility, yeah, that people might actually injure you. Of course, then there is also something the police needs to work on, that within the 48 hours, normally some of the investigations at police normally come after the arrest. Yes. Yeah, after the arrest, meaning they first arrest you, then they start investigating. Yes. Of course, that is also dependent on how the victims report. Yeah, a victim can report a matter, and then probably the police switches into action. So sometimes you can't blame the police 100% because you first make a complaint, then the police starts to investigate. Some cases warrant the police to indeed arrest you there and then. But there is what we call also the due processes, especially for such matters that involve persons who have been arrested and taken to police. Persons who have been summoned to police and they indeed turn up as per the summons. Basically, a summon is a written document signed by the police calling upon any person in the country to come and probably give police information concerning any particular act, whether criminal, even some civil matters like land disputes. They can invite someone in the public to come and give information. So when such persons are invited and they come voluntarily, yeah, some of the considerations police looks into before even releasing someone on police bond is how that person responds to such summons. And that is where we encourage Ugandans out there that once you receive a summon from the police, please turn up at the police and give information, whatever information that is probably required. The problem is where you see someone that such a person has been invited and then they start running, absconding. Yeah, they are now on flight mode. They take off, they switch off their phones. Yeah, so that is now a problem. Once they arrest you, I can assure you, they will keep you, but not beyond 48 hours. The challenge is that some police officers, not all, but some, detain persons beyond the 48 hours.
True.
Ordinarily, after you have done your investigations, you're supposed to forward this person to a court of law. The other challenge that where I want the police to even do some reforms, if you do realize people who are taken to police, when they request for a police bond, normally the answer is oral. Do you realize that? The police officer will tell you, I can't give you a police bond, and it is oral. Oral, I mean, it is a word of mouth. It's not documented down. Yeah, I think this is where the police needs to really think into. They should start having.
So if it is denied, it should be put in written.
It should be put in written. That is
like court does it.
Like court does. So that one.
Terms, it is denied because of this.
Yes.
Yes. Therefore, you cannot get a police bond.
Thank you so much. Yes, it should be put. It should be documented because one, this will help improve the jurisprudence surrounding issuance of police bonds. And then number two, we call upon the government to come up with the national guidelines for issuance of police. So that national guidelines, yeah, for issuance of police bond. So that there is uniformity. There should be uniformity because you realize there are certain offences. Let's say here in Kampala, where the police might be reluctant to grant you police bond, and yet in some other place they can easily give you police bond. So there has to be some sort of uniformity so that people can really understand when and how can police bond be given? Of course, anyone out there arrested, you have to apply. Yeah, you have to apply to the investigating officer that please, I pray that I am given police bond.
But do we even apply in Uganda?
Yes, you have to. By apply, I mean it can be an oral application.
Oral,
you don't
yes.
have to make a formal written application. The application can be oral. You have to request for the police bond, and of course, you need to also avail sureties. There is something I realized with some of the Ugandans. Some of them request for a police bond, but then they don't even have sureties. And those sureties are supposed to indeed confirm and remind you to come back to police when and the need arises. Because there is a challenge of someone being given a police bond and they disappear forever. Or they even forget. Yes, there's also a possibility of forgetting. So those sureties are basically put there to remind you that indeed you're supposed to go back whenever called upon, or when you're supposed to next appear at police, as they do the investigations, because I've said there are matters where the police begins to investigate after you have been arrested. So that is something that the sureties need to have at the back of their mind. You don't just go to police, you are standing surety for someone. Once he's released, then you disappear. It will now become your challenge. You, the surety, once someone disappears who has been given a police bond. So
as a surety, you must know what entails in being a surety. Not just someone asking you, do you have a national ID? Yes. Can you find an else letter? But for police, don't even get an else letter. But you have a national ID? Yes. Can we go and you? There is a friend arrested.
Some are even
one time I was shocked, but years back, some years have passed. At Central Police Station, there were brokers of sureties.
Thank you. That's what I was going to say. They are mercenaries who are...
Yes, mercenaries. People there, you pay them, they have all the documentation. I came to ask myself, but are these people thinking right? Remember, one time a friend of mine used them. In a certain case, and it was quite a big case. But these are people, I don't know where they came from. Even we had to coach them on who they were standing surety for. But they had all their documentations presented for police bail, for police bond. And I said, Uganda. Wonders.
Yes, of course, a surety has to have some sort of link with the person, the suspect who is at police. Either you have a relationship as a result of employment, blood, for example, your brother, uncle, or any relative that is close by. Yeah, there has to be an excess. You can't come and stand surety for someone that you don't know. Because at the end of the day...
Because you're going to get your car for hand.
At the end of the day, you are taking on an obligation that you need to fulfill at the end of the day. But a police bond is free of charge. I think even the police is always pointing out that issue. If you move around police stations, you'll even see
hanged on the wall. Police bond is free.
Police bond is free.
A police officer is seated like I'm seated here. At the back of his head, just high a bit, there is that word, police bond is free. Now after signing on the bond, then says Kati mukuru bond ewedde onkoze otya. But above is police bond, just behind there is free of charge.
Of course.
However, I must say there are police stations where I've seen police bond free.
Yeah, quite a number.
Quite a number. And I want to commend them. Hatwe police station under the new DPC. I must emphasize that man was from Jinja. Police bond is free, and should he know anyone who got money from you, then there is also another police station. It's Narumunye. I think it is Narumunye police station. It's a post or something like that, Narumunye, around Jomai, that side. I've known and I've gotten reports from people, police bond is entirely free under the leadership of the OC station or something like that. Others, I will excuse myself, the experience I've found there is quite tricky. Also, Kabalagala, the traffic side. Traffic, police bond is free. The traffic department. If they are disturbing you, let the OC traffic know of it. You'll get your car. The other side, I'm not going, but for traffic, with their new OC traffic police bond is free for those that have traffic offences. Yes, please continue.
Yes, so indeed, like I've said, quite a number of the police officers indeed practice what the law says. Police bond is free. Those of you who are off the road doing the wrong thing, it is a call upon you to come back on the right track and ensure that you deliver justice at the end of the day. Of course, like I've said, this is a pipeline. Yeah, there is police to prison pipeline, meaning upon arrest, you are detained, and detention has to be at a gazetted place. Yes, there is now a challenge where people are detained in places where you can't trace.
Yes.
Yes, someone is arrested and taken somewhere.
Basement.
Yeah? Basement, they take it to the basement.
Houses or something. Yes. New terminology is coming up.
Yes. And the relatives can't trace the person. If the person is sick, the doctors can't trace the person. Even the personal lawyers of that person are unable to access such a person. We believe that whoever is doing that should actually think twice because the law is quite clear. Detention has to be in a gazetted place, and the detention has to be for 48 hours. Anything beyond that is unconstitutional, regardless of the offense. After that, of course, file is normally taken to the Directorate of Public Prosecutions, the DPP. You normally hear the word DPP, State Attorney. Yeah, those are officers in the Directorate of Public Prosecutions. Once the police does the investigations, they compile the file and then they forward it to the DPP, who look through, peruse, and advise. If they feel that the information there is sufficient to warrant you to defend yourself in courts of law, be charged with one offense in courts of law, that is when you hear the word sanctioned. File has been sanctioned. File and badge sanction is there. So once the file has been sanctioned, that means that person who has been a suspect,
but out on bond. Yes.
He will now be taken to court, and now he will become an accused person. You are no longer now a suspect. You are an accused person. But still, that doesn't take away your constitutional rights of being innocent until
proven guilty.
You are still innocent even when you are taken to
court.
An
accused person is innocent until convicted of a crime.
Thank you very much. Yes, so he remains an innocent person, and he can even request to court to be given temporary relief. That temporary relief, we call it court bail. Yeah, you've heard of that term, court bail. Court bail. When someone has been taken to a court, it can be a lower court like the magistrate's court, or even the higher court for those capital offences. They are taken normally to the high court. That person can apply. For those of you who you have relatives taken to those lower courts, the application can even be done orally. Once the person reaches that docket, where they are put the accused persons, that person can always raise up his hand and request for temporary relief, because, like I've told you, you have that constitutional right to liberty. No one should be deprived of his liberty unless there is a court order to that effect. And you being accused and probably an offense charged, sanctioned against you, still doesn't take away that liberty. So that is how such persons can always apply, and courts can always and should always entertain those applications, bail applications, as a priority, and have them finalized within 30 days. 30 days, meaning once you make an application today, the ruling or the decision concerning whether you should be granted temporary relief or bail should be done within 30 days.
That is a month.
That is a month.
From the day you apply.
From the day you apply. Anything beyond that is an abuse of court procedures and court processes. Of course.
Now, Arthur, you've pointed out something very interesting that our viewers should pay attention to. When you say there is a period of 30 days through which court has to give an answer, whether they have denied bail or not. Most of the times I've had people, lawyers like you, say, how can court deny him bail? It's a constitutional right.
Yes.
Now, being a constitutional right, and some even go ahead and say human right, constitutional right, they have all legal jargons that you use as land people in that fraternity. Now, if it is a constitutional right that someone must be given bail,
Yes.
then where does court get the audacity to deny me bail? Take us through the terms, when it is possible and why it is not possible. Because from here I'll go chanting and saying it is my constitutional right. I must get bail, go home. This case will continue, but I must be out. It is my right.
I must be out. Yes, of course, we have the constitutional, we have the court bail guidelines. Yeah, they were made in 2022. They lay out the circumstances under which you may be granted bail, or when that bail can be denied by a court of law. Of course, when you apply for bail, the discretion is on court. They have to grant or not to grant, but they have to do that judiciously. Because, yes.
Not just the judge to say, when I look at this man,
yes,
he may not appear, therefore I've denied him.
Yes. But yeah, it must be judicious. It shouldn't be based on emotions. It shouldn't be told by any person that don't grant bail to such a person. What normally happens is that when you apply in court of law, you must present the following information for you to stand a chance to be granted bail. You have to present a national ID. You don't just go saying it is my right without presenting a national ID, an employment card, a passport, or even a student's card. Yeah, any of those documents I've talked about. A national ID. If you don't have a national ID, if you don't have a student's ID, or even an employment card ID where you work from, you must have sureties, and such sureties also must be substantial. Yeah, you must present sureties to courts of law. These are persons who guarantee that this person shall be reminded to come back to court when required to do so. Yeah, they must also present information concerning them that indeed we are residents of such and such an area. You don't just bring sureties as well, your uncles and friends to just stand in court. They must also have supporting information, the ones I've talked about, an LC letter, documents confirming their identity, to indeed confirm that we are persons of substantial character, and we shall remind the accused persons. And then, of course, lastly, the person who has been arrested as well has to present documents concerning where he or she stays. If you are in court, you have to inform your relatives to go at the LC where you stay, to indeed confirm, get an LC letter, to indeed confirm that the accused person is a resident of such and such a place. And of course, once you avail such information, then court will have to look into your file. Some of the considerations court looks into before granting you court bail is the gravity of the offense. Okay. Yes, if you're charged with an offense, capital in nature, that has punishment, you are likely to be sentenced to death or life imprisonment. Yeah, the threshold is prison of prison or treason. The court will be a bit reluctant to grant you bail. Of course, the biggest issue that court always looks at is the issue of risk. Yeah, you may be charged with a high offense. Gravity of the offense is also a consideration, but at the bottom line of everything is the risk associated with releasing someone on bail. Is there a risk that if this person is released on bail, is going to commit the same offense? Assume you arrest a rebel leader. Yeah, he's innocent until proven guilty. Yes, there is that innocence. But if you release him, he might disappear. In fact, the chances are so high that he will disappear. He will disappear. So there is that risk associated. Will that person commit the same offense? Or he will disappear. He may not commit the same offense, but he may even disappear. So if there is that high risk, court will be reluctant. If there is no risk, then the court shouldn't actually be stringent on the terms and conditions of having this person. And at least you have seen quite a number of persons who are They charge you with a case of is a political leader charged with an offense like talked about, treason or what. But if there is no risk associated with it, then courts might be reluctant to
inciting violence.
Yes.
You see them in and out, in and out.
Yes. Then of course the other consideration that courts always look into is the fact that this person, the issue of his age. Yeah, the advancement. If someone is of an advanced age, if you look at those guidelines, advanced age is 60 years. Yeah, if someone is 60 years and above, then the courts will always release that person. They won't put a lot of stringent terms. If someone is a minor, someone is below 18 years of age, yeah, courts will always be reluctant to keep such a person. So those are some of the issues that courts normally look into before granting someone bail. And if they do, they can give you bail with or without stringent terms and conditions. Meaning you have had situations where a court says we have released so and so on bail, and they say, but you will pay. It is a cash bail, and you have to pay, let's say, $1 million shillings. Then they also put a condition: the surety is non-cash bail. Yeah, they will have to, in case you disappear, they will have to forfeit a certain figure before the courts of law. Those are some of the stringent terms. They even ask you to avail your passport. In case they assume that you might run out of the country, they can ask for your passport. Or they can even ask you to bring titles, land titles, yeah, to indeed confirm that you are indeed confirming I will not run away, because if I do, I'll forfeit my property. So those are the things that court always looks into. Of course, we always implore our courts of law not to put very stringent terms, because some of those terms, like I've told you, cash conditions, where someone is told to pay a certain fee, yeah, assuming they arrest you of an offense, and they say, but you have to pay 5 million shillings before.
Well, Arthur, there is so much that we can say and having you, but we must cut this short to have more time for Tourism Express. But in just a second, let me just have your parting shot. Yes,
my parting shots are, please, Ugandans out there, you should always remember, bail and bond are temporary reliefs. It is not an acquittal. Meaning if you're given bond or bail, it is not an acquittal. Please follow the due processes until such matters are determined by the courts of law. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Well, thank you so much for always having time for us and ensuring that we let Ugandans understand these things is very, very important, because they are rights, but also you must understand where are the limitations. When can you not access bail or bond? Well, Julie will be here after this break with Tourism Express. Keep it with us on UBC TV. Goodbye.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product.
Alright, listen up. Colgate is on a mission. It's kind of a big thing. Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate Science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
Colgate Charcoal Gentle Clean cleans and polishes teeth for a whiter smile and a naturally fresh and clean mouth. Choose natural. Choose Colgate Charcoal.
I know what Uganda needs. When General Caleb Akandwanaho retired, Salim Saleh presented his long, detailed analysis of Uganda's economy and structured recommendations for improvement in the form of the Third National Development Plan, NDP-3, to President Museveni. He laid out the kinds of problems that many Ugandans feel every day, but rarely see captured in one place. He was doing what he has done for years, breaking down the problems holding back ordinary Ugandans. He talked about distortions in factors of production, such as land conflicts that choke investment, the high cost of finance for ordinary people, the shortage of skills among youth, the slow pace of value addition, and the gap between production in the villages and the factories in industrial parks. It was the kind of diagnosis a technocrat offers when trying to get a country unstuck. The president's reply was striking in its simplicity. I know what Uganda needs. At first, to others, it might have sounded almost dismissive. But when placed in the context of 40 years of state rebuilding, economic reform, and political stability, it revealed something deeper. A belief that Uganda's path to transformation has been consistent, deliberate, and informed by lived experience rather than theory. His confidence is not based on guesswork. It's based on the journey already traveled. He always stresses that any serious revolutionary discussion about the economy of Uganda, or indeed much of Africa, should include the following questions. 1. What was the economy of Uganda like in 1900, at the dawn of colonialism? 2. What was the economy of Uganda like in 1962, at the sunset of colonialism? 3. How and what was the magnitude of the collapse of the Ugandan economy between 1971 and 1986? Idi Amin, Obote II, Okello. 4. What, therefore, was the economy of Uganda like in 1986? 5. What is the Ugandan economy like today, and why?
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
A very good morning to you. It's a Monday, the 22nd of June 2026, and this is Good Morning Uganda on UBC TV. Thank you so much for watching. If you started the show with us, thank you so much for choosing to start the day with us and allowing us to start the day with you. But if you just joined in halfway or are just tuning in, you are welcome. This is Good Morning Uganda. We come to you live from the Live Avenue, from the Nile Avenue on UBC TV. My name is Julie F. Nantaba. It's time for Tourism Express. And this morning we're looking at, well, the conversation that started as of last week on X, where the Lawns restaurant got under a bit of fire with the netizens regarding the wild meat delicacies that the Lawns serves. And we're blessed to have the ED of Uganda Wildlife Authority, Dr. James Musinguzi, there on air, who educated us on a few things and especially terms such as user rights, that is wildlife user rights. And of course, it is something that the Lawns restaurant has. And at the same time, wild meat is exposed to us in strict amounts by the Uganda Wildlife Authority, and the Lawns gets to experience that at the same time. How many kilograms is it allowed to have in the country? And of course, lots of things, a bit of things we learned from that particular fire that was. But today we further the conversation, and which is why we decided to have the MD of the Lawns Wild Game and Barbecue Restaurant, that is Meena Patel, to talk about sustainable bushmeat delicacies and driving conservation. A very good morning to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
All right, it's a pleasure having you. Be part of the conversation, by the way. Ask a question, 0709-602-592, and your experience enjoying wild meat. I must say I've enjoyed the game meat at the Lawns. It's been a beautiful experience for me. But welcome back. Allow me to welcome you back from last week. The fire was quite intense on the internet.
Right.
In which ways has it affected the Lawns? Positively, negatively? Which particular ways have you experienced?
Okay, I can say both the ways. Because if you can see that on the Twitter, the person has raised, maybe they have not been educated or they may have not been aware about the Lawns, has been created questions, and the people who are supported, they are talking about, they have been to my customers, they may be aware about the Lawns, they have impacted and they educated.
Right.
The threads, and the clients have been talking about, yes, we are the licensed company, we are only sourcing the game meat through the licensed company, and we have been established, I think, since past 2009. On this is the positive side. On the negative side, yes, definitely there are certain people who are thinking about the Lawns is been impacted by the illegal poaching. But on that aspects, I think we need to more highlighting about what we are doing, how the Lawns is been importing or locally hunting the meat, and we can explain to them to make sure that they are being clear about our concept.
Right. Therein, let's also look at how the Lawns concept of serving wild game delicacies aligns with the drive of conserving wildlife at the same time, as opposed to depleting it.
Okay, thank you. I think let me take you through how we are sourcing the game meat, right? Okay, if you know, the Lawns has been started there in hospitality in 2009. We are currently sourcing the meat from Uganda local game sourcing, which is the sport hunting program, as well as we are also importing the game meat from the South Africa. Now, while we are saying a local hunting, right, local sport hunting, which is been approved by monitoring by the Uganda Wildlife Authority, on that particular program, Uganda Wildlife Authority have a specific quota or census, right? What animals you should hunt is only the animal which is less than 2% of the particular species, including the male species. And that to be those who are above certain age, non-reproductive age, as well as there are certain other criteria. That are the only meat we have been sourcing to the Lawns. Now, when you are aware about the sport hunting companies, currently we are working with 2 hunting companies. Okay, we have not yet, we are having more than 5 companies, but we are right now working with only 2 companies.
Right.
Recently, I think not recently, in 2024, Uganda Wildlife Authority has circulated a survey. On that survey, there are, I think, around 285 responders. They have worked on that, and out of that 68% responder has been, out of that 68% was the stakeholders, including the government officials, including the UA officials, including the communities, right? They are saying that this game meat distribution channel, what we are currently doing, is absolutely helping the conservations. And all the way, these conservations help the animals population as well. So I personally been very confident to say that whatever meat comes to the lawns, it's been strictly been observed and under the Uganda Wildlife Authority, and it is purely licensed.
Right. I love that you've given us a background of the bit that you import, but also the bit that you get from the local sport hunting companies. Therein, one would wonder how you are strict with your sourcing. The fact that you have wildlife user rights, that means that with all the people you're working with, there is legality. But how are you able to navigate strictly 100% to make sure that the whole supply chain is 100% legal without any backdoor along the way?
Okay, I get your point. So as you said that we got a license. Before we started the restaurant in 2009, we acquired a license from Uganda Wildlife Authority, which is the user rights license.
Right.
I think from 2009 to 2021, we have been strictly importing the game meat, as I mentioned about from the South Africa. In 2020, we approached the Uganda Wildlife Authority. Uganda Wildlife Authority, we proposed them, being such a wonderful reserve, wild reserves, why not we can try to hunt through the sport hunting company.
Right.
They approved a pilot trial for the 4 years. We got it, we have implemented very well. Now, I just want to highlight about this program, the way, what you say is how we are sourcing the game meat and bringing them here. Sport hunting companies are quite far, I think kilometers away, because one is Karamoja, we are also working with Goma, Nakaseke. Now, to bring the meat, we have a licensing process, strict Uganda wildlife licensing process. Every carcass to be inspected by the Uganda Wildlife Authority and officers, as well as the veterinary certificates are being compulsory. So all this process, after that the consignment comes through a right temperature control, because you know it's a meat. We have to take them through that kilometers away through the cold supply chain. We bring them here. While we are bringing them here, we also needs to be spot checked by the Uganda Wildlife Authority. On the way, we have to submit the Uganda Wildlife Authority a quarterly and yearly annual reports. Now all this way, which I can assure you that whatever meat comes to the lawns are 100% certified and been assured. So I think I am being sure about that. So we are been bringing the meat in a very strict process.
All right. Very strict indeed, and very detailed at that. We are looking at sustainable bushmeat delicacies, while of course they're in conserving wildlife and pushing to conserve wildlife. Be part of the conversation. 0709-602-592. Our guest this morning is Meena Patel. She is the MD at the Lawns Wild Game and Barbecue Restaurant. Now, Meena, let's look at domestic tourism. How is the Lawns educating and attracting domestic tourism, especially culinary tourism for Uganda, seeing as game meat experience is usually served luxuriously and costing an arm and a leg?
And wonderful. I think you are aware about what type of game meat we are currently having. We have more than, I think, 10 species of the game meat we are using. Now, like domestic people, right?
Right.
When I started a specialty restaurant, it becomes a challenge because people will not be understand that wild meat should be a meat which is healthier, more healthier than the other meats. So we are educating through the menu, definitely, because we are running the menu which has a major items are wild meat items. Also, we are teaching our front of house staff. We are also educating the staffs to talk about the conservations, the economical effect, the community benefits, and also I can say through our servers. We are also giving the impact to the domestic guests. They are coming with the health benefit as well as the community benefits. On the top of that, we are also doing a tourist international crowds. We are also attracting the international crowds through the Like for example, recently we have done a tour operators get together, whereby we are educating them, we are explaining them, we are also giving experience through the actual food. So, you know, they are the people who are also in touch with the tourist company.
Right.
Also our visibility will be there on the website. We are also been, I think the customers, they are also putting the reviews on the TripAdvisor. All affect and create a interest. And one or another way, I can see our consumption from 2009 to now, it's been sixth-fold. That means people are taking interest, they are being educated, they are been also understanding the values of the community benefits.
Right.
So I can say, yes, we are in a right track.
All right. Speaking of which, I love that you talk about allowing your employees about educating them so that they educate us, and it's something I've experienced where you ask the questions and anyone who's serving you is able to explain the detail about the particular meat that you're eating.
Right.
But in the long run, we look at the economic impact of it. What economic impact has this have on that whole supply chain, especially on the local scene and to the Ugandan economy?
Okay, it has a many diverse, multi-directional effect. One of the best effect I can see is in 2021 when we started a local hunting through the Uganda Wildlife Authority.
Right.
I think let me get back to you in the more detailing about that. In 2021 when we started this, it affected like the carcass. Initially, before 2021, the carcass was being given to the community, right? But now, we are the one who have been taking 30% of the meat only from that carcass, and the 70% goes to the community as well as the cash, the fund which is routed through the sport hunting company. It affects, it can create a benefits to the community. The community are using for their creating schools, making roads, making the boreholes. These are all the surveys are been, I think, been published in Uganda Wildlife Authority's survey.
Right.
Secondly, I can also see that the effect of sourcing and keeping the team of 80 people at the lawns, they are also been affected with the economic benefits. We have been using the menu for the wild game. Also, we have been using the local farmers, local vegetables, local supply of the other items. They are also being benefited indirectly. Today we are using a cold supply chain, right? So all logistic companies which is being sourced and hired by the local Africans, local Ugandans.
Right.
So I can say it affected throughout.
Right.
And major effect and benefit comes through the community.
Very profound, the 360-degree economic impact. Now our time is fast spent, Mina, but allow me read just a bit of comments coming through. One is, good morning Uganda. Mine is a question to Patel. Can I get supplies of bushmeat from her? This is Edson in Entebbe. Can anyone get supplies of bushmeat?
No, because our license are only allowing to use within the restaurant.
Right.
We cannot sell it.
Right.
We can only sell the meat on cooked meat which is been available at the lawns. So they can come enjoy at the lawns and they can enjoy the meat.
All right, Edson, find your way to the lawns. I've experienced it, and it's a beautiful place, a beautiful experience at that. We bring this to a close. Mina, what are your parting shots? Your final remarks? Okay, on the one of the social media things, what you have been initially said that we are the restaurants who are being only value creates the protections, right? Yes.
And we have already created the values to the community, and the communities are protecting the meat. I believe that whatever we have been using the meat since 2009, I can also request the users and the people who believes that we can only have the licensed one, and I am 100% confident.
Right.
People come and enjoy our place.
All right. Please do come through and enjoy the lawns as it is. It's 100% legal. Up next is business, and we do have the agenda as well. That has been Mina Patel, the Managing Director of the Lawns Wild Game and Barbecue Restaurant. Good morning, Uganda.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
is on a mission.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate Science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
Colgate Charcoal Gentle Clean cleans and polishes teeth for a whiter smile and a naturally fresh and clean mouth. Choose natural. Choose Colgate Charcoal.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's harder to lose weight? Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Thank you for being with us on UBC TV. Let's now talk business, looking at a few business stories here. Now, Evelyn Zarango, the General Manager of the African Chamber of Commerce, Uganda, has emphasized a strategic shift towards trade investment as the key driver of Uganda's economic future. Moving away from traditional resilience on aid, she made the remarks while at the Foreign Chambers Policy Summit organized by the coalition of 4 international business organizations. The summit revealed recent legal and policy changes as well as strategies outlined in the international budget for the upcoming financial year. Let's take a look at this.
Thank you very much. I would like to welcome Mark Triamrera.
Another act that was passed was the Employment Act. So even that, we are looking at it and we are asking ourselves questions. What are those things that are going to affect businesses? What are the opportunities within the act? For example, the Employment Act, there's so many changes. So the businesses are asking, if the maternity leave is increased, what is going to happen to my business? Do I have to find somebody to sort of become a replacer for that person?
The 10X dream will remain a dream. We need to bring it to life and actually ensure that it happens.
The growth pillars have remained the same as part of the 4th National Development Plan, and what this means is within the agro-industrialization we have opportunities beyond just farming.
When you're talking about private sector, tourism play a key role, and there are so many things to be done, and this is a sector that can drag so much revenues, that can capacitate so much the young generations.
Government is supporting Mukono district on developing varieties of coffee and cocoa that directly resist challenges in the environment. Now, the Director, National Coffee Research Institute, Dr. Geoffrey Alinaitwe, said the focus is on breeding drought-resilient coffee and coke seedlings given to farmers.
Government is supporting the National Coffee Resources Research Institute in Mukono district to breed more coffee and cocoa varieties.
Coffee and cocoa are very important crops in Uganda. Coffee alone brings in 80 trillion shillings in the economy of Uganda. It's such an important crop. It employs over 12 million people along the value chain, and about 4 million households actually grow coffee in Uganda. So this is an important crop where government really always invests money for continuity, but today we are here actually to invest money in research. So, and you know that research supports the development arm of this crop.
The government is putting much more resources, for example, in coffee. They are financing the coffee seed system. Under the coffee seed system, even cocoa seedlings are involved, is to make sure that farmers get high quality seedlings in the neighborhood where they stay. What I mean, that the seedlings are produced in coffee producing regions. Currently, the government is promoting production of quality seedlings in zone agricultural research institutes. For example, Mbarara Zadi, Kachweka Nozadi, Abizadi in West Nile, and Ngeta in Lango, and Kamenyamigo in the central region, to make sure that farmers within the coffee and cocoa producing regions have easy access to high quality seedlings. Quality seedlings is the foundation for high quality production, and through seedling, that's when new varieties are distributed to farmers.
Under the Coffee and Cocoa Commodity Value Chain Climate Smart Seed Systems project, farmers will access quality seedlings
to be able to multiply the foundation seed, which will be sent to the nursery operators, and the nursery operators will be able to sell it to the private citizens. Those are the end users, those are the farmers in Uganda. So the project builds on the government programs like PDM, aimed at alleviating poverty within the country.
This is a crop that can be grown in most parts of Uganda. This is a crop that has very high value. Director was saying, if you have 4 acres, what you need is to open a bank account. But even with cocoa, with a quarter an acre, you better open 2 bank accounts. I'm telling you, even if the crop drops to 5,000 shillings a kilo, you still make money. The beauty about cocoa, which we are discovering now, is that if you make the soil damp, you get it, you apply manure, you do pruning. And Emma Kawezi here has been helping us a lot in training, and Job Chemutai here with permission from Direct. They have been coming to Cocoa to train our farmers. You can harvest that crop throughout the year, once every 2 weeks.
The goal of the Coffee and Cocoa Commodity Value Chain Climate Smart Seed Systems project is to strengthen the coffee and cocoa seed systems through developing and disseminating quality planting materials.
Well, thank you so much for that story, and government injecting money into developing drought-resistant coffee and cocoa seedlings. Now that brings us to the end of our business stories, but Julie is ready to take you through the agenda. Keep it with us.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda. Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby dundalo.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000, or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules Plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product.
Alright, listen up. Koala Cake is on a mission.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate Science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
Colgate Charcoal Gentle Clean cleans and polishes teeth for a whiter smile and a naturally fresh and clean mouth. Choose natural. Choose Colgate Charcoal.
I know what Uganda needs. When General Caleb Akandwanaho retired, Salim Saleh presented his long, detailed analysis of Uganda's economy and structured recommendations for improvement in the form of the Third National Development Plan, NDP-3, to President Museveni. He laid out the kinds of problems that many Ugandans feel every day, but rarely see captured in one place. He was doing what he has done for years, breaking down the problems holding back ordinary Ugandans. He talked about distortions in factors of production, such as land conflicts that choke investment, the high cost of finance for ordinary people, the shortage of skills among youth, the slow pace of value addition, and the gap between production in the villages and the factories in industrial parks. It was the kind of diagnosis a technocrat offers when trying to get a country unstuck. The president's reply was striking in its simplicity. I know what Uganda needs. At first, to others, it might have sounded almost dismissive.